All right, the Detroit Lions making some last-minute roster moves before a huge game against the Dallas Cowboys. And one of the things that we did was we signed, this might have went under the radars. We signed Andrew Armstrong to the practice squad. He's a wide receiver from Arkansas, tall guy, undrafted free agent, was picked up by the Miami Dolphins. Anyway, we pick him up. And the reason we bring this up is because kind of reading the tea leaves here, Craig. When you see that we've signed a wide receiver, you look at the injury report. We'll pull that up here in a second. Khalif Raymond's out. We know about Amon-Ra St. Brown being questionable. We'll get to that as well. Thoughts on some of these moves that we're going to make and what we'll see this on Thursday or today when we play the Cowboys?
Yeah, it is today. Yeah, that's crazy. Recording early, right? Some of the changes. So we bring Armstrong, double A, went to Arkansas, which means that he knows Tesla, right? Because that's where Tesla is coming out of college. And I do think it's interesting, as we make these moves, do I expect him to do much of anything this week? Of course not, right? Of course not. I think at wide receiver, what you're going to be looking at is you're going to be looking at a heavy dose of Jameson Williams. I think Isaac Tesla is going to absolutely get involved in this one. I look for him to have at least 5 targets. I don't think he's ever had more than 2 in a game, maybe
Right.
3, but I look for him to have 5, 6 targets. And then you've got 3 other guys that are very interesting. You have Dominic Lovett. Remember him? We drafted him out of Georgia. We've got the ever steady, ever reliable, the modern day reincarnation of Wayne Corbett, Tom Kennedy. All right. And then we've got Jackson Meeks. All these guys I would expect to play a little bit. Now, I know Jackson Meeks has been cross-training at tight end. Maybe we get to see him for some of those flex spots where what that looks like. Yeah, it is very, very interesting. I don't expect the little wide receivers, St. Brown and Khalif Raymond, to play in this game. But what do you expect out of these guys that are left that are some shifting? Tesla moves up. You bring Tom Kennedy in like he was last week off the practice squad. Who do you expect to step up in a big way against this Cowboys secondary that's not that great?
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week. And let us know in the comments. And we'll get to the end here. We'll give our predictions on this game, and we'd love to hear yours in the comments as well. I think we all love Tom Kennedy. Saw him last week. Just boom, catches well. Tesla, love the way that he catches. So I have really, I don't know if it's just blinders, Kool-Aid blinders on, but I love these guys. I really do. I think, man, and again, it goes back to the offensive line. You give Goff time and he can hit these guys, and I have all the confidence in the world. So I think if you look at that, and by the way, let me pull this up, Craig, and show you. Yeah, Khalif Raymond. This is guys that have been ruled out. So we know Raymond, he's another one, like every punt return, like 50-50 shot, he just gets injured. And then you see him just limping.
Just obliterated, right?
Oh,
like the force in which some people get tackled is just different than others. And he's a guy who just gets rocked.
Just gets creamed. And
so terrifying.
Oh my gosh. And so this is interesting here. This is questionable. So there's some good and bad news in here. So you look at like Amon-Ra, even the fact that he's even questionable is good news. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but look at here. Don't mean to change the subject right away, but go offensive line. It's the topic, and let us know in the comments your thoughts as well. But yeah, where you at when you see questionable right here with these guys?
Yeah. So with Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, I expect it. Right. I mean, they've been questionable for 5, 6. I mean, Taylor Decker's been questionable every week all season. And then Penei Sewell has been questionable for the last 5 weeks. Fully expect them to play. Like, I'm not worried about that. They're just load managing them. And, when you get a bunch of limited practices or do not practices, you're not going to not bring in a questionable tag going into the game. Coyote Awosika, that one scares me a little bit, right? Like, that one scares me, and I just have no idea about Graham Glasgow. We know the knee kept him out last week, but Coyote Awosika, that happened in practice, right? So all of a sudden, he practices on Tuesday, downgraded to no practice on Wednesday, and it's like, all right, so is Tristan Colon coming in? And then what are we doing if Graham Glasgow is also out?
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, you're in trouble. And you have to remember the Cowboys now have Quinnen Williams. So it's not like it's just the worst defensive line in football, right? Like they actually have some juice there now. So we need to have some healthy guys. That was the one matchup in this game going into it that I'm just like, Goff's going to have time in the pocket if we have a healthy offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So that I know it sounds weird when I say Decker and Sewell injuries don't worry me, but the Coyote Awosika one does, and it does.
Well, in really go take what we just looked at right there. Go last year when you had we're now on our fourth string guards, right? So it's like, all right, it's early in the morning here, trying to get my bearings.
Frazier's not back yet.
But yeah, if you start
I don't think.
looking at our core guys that we had last year, I'm just saying that elite offensive line with Ragnow and then Zeitler, and then you got Graham Glasgow. Now Graham Glasgow goes to center, bring a guy in. Then that guy gets hurt, Mahogany. Okay, fine. And then then we're gonna put Coyote in. All right, cool. You're a left guard, Coyote. Now he's hurt. Now it's like this elite offensive line is just
play left guard now,
man. So
like seriously. And then what do we do at the tight end spot? Because we always bring him in for big packages, especially when Laporte is hurt and Brock Wright is hurt. So now we don't have that firm blocking tight end that can also run routes. So last week, Dan Skipper played a ton of 6-0 linemen. Mm-hmm. And now does he go to left guard or does Tristan Colon move to center? And then now so it could be, we could be pretty far down the depth chart.
We could, and or they play, and we're all just good, and they're on questionable, and we're fine. What concerns you the most? What excites you the most about this game? It is the more we talk about it, the more it is a must win because
it is.
Because the loser would drop under this winner, and they're now one more team that you have to get above, and they've got the head-to-head. So we're the first two teams out of the playoffs right now. You would fall below that person or that team. We'd fall below the Cowboys, and then we would have to jump them, as well as need help from the Niners to drop out or some of these other teams to drop out. So this is a must-win. Thoughts on the game? Where you at?
Yeah, I do have thoughts on the game, and I don't want to be this guy. I don't.
Oh no.
I don't. I don't want to be this guy. I'm honestly getting sick of having an injury report of 20 guys.
Yeah.
And watching the other day, injuries happen to everybody in the NFL. Everybody has injuries. Everybody's struggling with that. Well, then why is the Cowboys injury report like 6? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when I say 20 guys, I mean, we got like 6 out. We've got 10 questionable. I mean, these are exaggerations. I think it's like 5 out, 8 questionable. And then we already have another like 5, 6, 7, 10 guys that are IR, right? Yep. And so it's just like injury after injury after injury. So my thoughts are this. I think this is a game where our offense absolutely gets back on track, which makes no sense. Right? Because we don't have Laporta. We don't have Brock Wright. We don't have St. Brown. We are missing an offensive lineman or two. But I really do have faith in Dan Campbell and the desperation of the situation. I have faith in Jared Goff. And I think the line even started to show last week that even while banged up, that they could protect Jared Goff. And that defensive line in Green Bay was significantly better than the one in Dallas. I'm actually, as weird as it sounds, seeing all the injuries on offense. I'm worried about the defense and what that's going to look like. Terrion Arnold out for the year. Kirby Joseph is out. Who knows how long? Is this another situation where we sign a guy to a long-term contract, then he gets a brutal knee injury? It's starting to look that way. Brian Branch is questionable with the toe/ankle. Like, who's going to play? Mm-hmm. Who's going to play in the secondary? It's the same thing that's happened in the interior offensive line. So do I have thoughts? Yes. My thoughts, unfortunately, are we are going to play really well and we're going to play really hard. And I'm just worried that we come up just a little short because we're too banged up.
Mm-hmm. And it is hard to imagine. It's hard to see the path forward to a victory just based on the way that we've played over the last few weeks. The only thing is you do get into that desperation mode where you can't fake that. You can. Last week was like, it would be nice to win. I mean, really, we need to win. This is like, this is that desperation time. And I'd be really curious to see defensively. I mean, we are all of us fans will be just wanting to die if we're out just doing the same thing again. I would just be shocked. And there must be something to it, right? If we're just going to be up press man and they're going to be doing just little, if we're sitting there tonight and they're just doing this little motion to get, a receiver behind another receiver, and you got our guys doing hand signals. You're just like, this is not going to work. This, you can't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're just,
razor,
oh, no.
razor.
And the guy's crossing, and it's just like, you can't cover an NFL pro athlete, the top of the athletes that you've never met athletes like this in real life in your life, and they're crossing, and you got a Meek Robertson, and it's just like, don't do that, please. So there's got to be a way. We've got to be able, and I'm not saying we played the whole time, and we might not even be good at like a shell coverage.
Are you about to just talk zone and shell? Is that what we're going to talk about?
Yes, and we might be terrible at it, but we feel like we've got to do that. And someone made a great point. When you can just sit back and watch the offense operate, just the amount of injuries again that you can prevent, because you're not just right up in their grill, just you're back. So I'm talking a lot here. My biggest thing is, can we please,
people love it, Chris,
defensively stop doing that and just mix in. Just asking for some mix up, and that would just make me feel like, okay, cool. We because I can't sit there and watch us get crossed up anymore. I can't do it.
Isn't that kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the year? How we were really excited for Shep to be the defensive coordinator, because we felt like in games in which what his plan wasn't working, he would be a little more humble and a little more willing to change what he was going to do than Aaron Glenn. And in the beginning of the year, we really did see that.
I felt like it.
Yeah. And I think over the last couple of games, we're not seeing that. I really do think that. Like, remember with Aaron Glenn, it's like, this is the plan going into the game. If the plan works, we're good. And this is a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
If the plan doesn't work, we're screwed. We're a bottom 5 defense on this week. And it wasn't like that. It didn't feel like that with Shep. It felt like it was somewhere like we're consistently a top 10 defense until the last couple of weeks. And so I do agree with what you're saying. Like, hey, make them go on long drives. Make them finish. Make them finish in the red zone and see what we can do with it. I think when man really, really gets to me is also in the red zone, because the red zone things get so tight.
Yeah.
Right. And especially when you're playing zone, the windows are smaller, everything's smaller, but you can run man beaters inside the 10-yard line. And that's exactly what happened to us last week. It's exactly what happened. And it's just like, it's okay to actually sit back and read and react to what's going on with the offense. I think it's going to be fine. And so it's interesting to see. We did have a full week. So did the Cowboys. I know it's a Thursday game, but it's a normal full rest week. Man, oh man, it's one of those things where I'm like, we get kind of a half bye after this game.
Yep.
Still feels like it's not enough time.
Nope.
Chris, give me one player. This is kind of random. Give me one player that you think is going to just have a massive game, offense or defense. Who's your one player?
Well, I would love more of a I would love to see it would be Tesla, because remember, we traded Tim Patrick. We traded away a pretty reliable that role type of guy. And the thought was, oh yeah, absolutely Kim, because we've got this
old. He's got 4
guy.
new knees. Yeah,
Tesla is out here just in the preseason, and then you see him in that first game. We all know his story, and then we just don't really use him. And I would love to see us use him, especially in some of these situations where it's like, okay, we're just not getting the time. I don't think it's ever a fun, super great strategy to just throw it up to a guy, but it does feel like Tesla is, hey, can we just do a back shoulder? Can we do something? Give him an opportunity. Doesn't it feel like he's a guy that when we kind of need a play and it's hard to say it because it's not like he's really have a track record. He's a rookie and he's had some like phenomenal catches, but it does feel like he's not Kelvin Johnson, but it's almost around that ballpark where it's like, can we just give him an opportunity down the field would be something I would love. So that's the guy that I think, I don't know if you'll have a big game. I would like to see it. And that would be really cool to just change.
Even if it's just 4 catches for 62 yards.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Or 4 catches for 42 yards.
Yes.
Right. It's just like, hey, let's have him be that big receiver on the outside. JMO can move and go across the field, but you also need a guy that is a vertical threat. Tesla can be that. You need a guy who can be a possession receiver. Tesla can be that. And Yeah, that is the interesting. I'm going to give you a weird name. You talk about contested catch guys, Jake Bobo. You know what? Seattle Seahawks, right? Like the fans loved that guy for the Seattle Seahawks. He was like a 4'7", like guy. He was tall and he could come down with contested catches. Well, Tesla's a 4'4" guy that has the same hand skill set, size, and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
my
He's just
gosh. Yeah.
faster. Like, and we're utilizing Tesla like they did Bobo. It's like, all right, it's time to at some point you got to take the training wheels off these guys. And I understand he didn't play a ton in college. Well, he played a lot. He was just in a horrible system for a passing offense at Arkansas. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd love to see him have a big game. I think the most obvious decisions, JMO is going to have a big game because he's the only wide receiver left. That is a regular player. I think they're going to double the heck out of him. So I think you're going to see, I think in this game, you are going to see, depending on who they decide to play, 5 to 7 catches out of either Dominic Lovett or Tom Kennedy. I think they're going to they're going to be a catch monster. And so I think that'll be interesting as well. Yeah.
I agree. And well, what's your score prediction?
I hate doing that.
I hate it too.
I'll do it.
Yep.
I'll do it.
I hate it. I hate this one in particular because if I had to bet my life, I don't know what I would do. I know
it's really tough. I feel like it's like a random like 33 to 29. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna go with Lions 34, Cowboys 31. I'm actually gonna choose the Lions to win this one. And I don't know if that's more here or here.
Sure.
I think if I were here, it's 34-31 Cowboys. If I'm being honest, if I'm here, it's the Lions get the victory. And as you asked me the prediction, I was like, nah, I don't think we're gonna get it. Then when you asked me the prediction, I was like, actually, this is the first time I'm feeling a victory here. Like, let's go. What do you got?
I'm with you. I think this is gonna, unfortunately, because we've controlled so many games in the Dan Campbell area, just start to finish. That's not us right now. We can't because we can't run the ball. So it is. I'm with you. It does feel like this weird. JMO is going to get like some weird play where he goes 60 yards.
Yep.
Jameer Gibbs is going to have so I'm with you. I'm like 33 to 31, like Thursday
so our
night
predictions
football.
Are a point off.
Yeah, it's weird. It's up in the 30s. Maybe a Jake Bates just long field goal to help us out at the end. I have no idea, but it's not a good feeling. It's one of those like just settle in. You could just turn this game on with 5 minutes left in the fourth and just almost save yourself.
Don't do that.
So many problems because
I'll tell you what you would save yourself is 4 Lions getting injured on the field in between that time. So that is so nasty, and it's Thursday night football, which tends to not be as close a games. Maybe we should have been like 34-17, 34-21, something like that. I don't know. The defense is going to step up. There was another game that did remind me of this. It was Monday night game, and nobody gave us a shot because of all the injuries we had, and we ended up absolutely obliterating the Buccaneers. There are times where there's been desperation, and this team has stepped up. There has been times where we've been just brutally injured, and the team has stepped up. I don't see why we can't do it again now. The Cowboys are really good. Now they have a new coach. The Cowboys have been really good until it really matters, and I feel like this game really matters. And we've been really good when it really matters.
Yes.
We are that team.
This is one of those, like, are we really? I truly believe we are this, the grit, the whole thing. And so I don't know. We'll find out. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know your score predictions in the comments. Get your emotions out, and we will see all of you on the next one.